Okay, so what we're going to talk about is the Federal Reserve. Now, it's important to see this word, Federal Reserve Bank. It's actually a private organization. It's like Federal Express. It isn't a government organization. Now, let me show you kind of what's happening right now. Basically, the government is the person who's responsible for your budgets, and they're actually spending more money than they have, so they're creating a deficit. So the government contacts the Treasury Department. Treasury Department says, okay, you got this debt. Well, we're going to put it out on the market as a bond or as a security. Now, that debt is purchased either by a foreign government like China or a private holder over here. This is just a regular guy, Joe. And then what happens from this point is the Federal Reserve purchased it from the private holder. Now, where does the Federal Reserve actually get the money to purchase it from the private holder? Well, they print it. Now, the problem that creates is inflation. So what the government has decided to do with this whole scheme is to actually get you to pay for the bills on the other end. They don't have the moral conviction or the fortitude to raise taxes to cover their budget deficit. So they actually devalue the dollar so that their debt isn't as significant. So the more the value of the dollar goes down, then you have this huge amount of debt that doesn't seem so big. What that does to the regular citizen is that means that the money that you've worked for and saved your whole life is not worth as much. It also really affects people who are on fixed incomes, people who have Social Security or other things like that. So if they were getting $1,000 and in a year it's only worth $500, that's a big, big impact to their lives. So to me, this is an operation it's basically cowardice. It's getting what they want without telling the American taxpayer and the American citizen how they're doing it. So the solution to this whole problem is this. Boom. And what you do there is you make them manage their own money. Every other person in this country is responsible for balancing their budget. You can afford what you can work for and earn. If the government can only spend what they have, then I guarantee that we won't have so many problems. You won't have nationalization of industry. You won't have a foreign aid or a foreign policy that has us wrapped up around the world because they simply couldn't afford it. So for us and our legislative solution and the way that we think that America will go, but we'd like it to do voluntarily, is to end the Fed.